things you're never going to hear me talk about on the internet. I'm simply never going to tell you what causes and who I donate money to. That's just something I do not feel like belongs on the internet. A comment on my video was talking about all the designer purchases I wasted money on, saying something to the effect of, if you have all this extra money, maybe you should be donating. Obviously, like, yes, of course, I want to help people when I have extra money to help people. That's how I was raised, and I do that. I'm just not on the internet talking about it with you. This for me is rooted in my relationship with Christ. If you read the Bible, there are multiple verses in multiple different books talking about when you give, you should not be boasting about it, because then at that point you're not giving for the right reason. So I'm never going to talk about that on the internet. In light of that girl's video going viral about Chloe Holiday's wedding dress, I will never be posting a personal hot take about anybody on the internet. For the most part, I stay out of comment sections unless it's something I can relate to, because like I don't feel the need to get on my keyboard. Like I just like to consume the content. I don't know why people are so up in arms to protect their right to having an opinion. Have an opinion, but also know your opinions can have consequences. Having your opinion is going to cause harm to someone else's mental health or ruin someone else's day or yuck someone's yum. Why would you want to share it? Like, that's just weird to me. I don't honestly ever see a time where I would share anything about past relationships or like past things about specific relationships I've been in. Not to say I would never do a funny trend or like try to be vulnerable with you guys or directly out an ex-boyfriend, an ex-relationship, an ex-situationships. At the end of the day, and I've always thought this about people who do this on the internet, that is somebody that you loved and cared for and shared a very special relationship with, and to go online and try to like defame their character and like talk about things that happen between y'all, I just think is a little bit wrong. With the understanding that a lot of people do this out of hurt, I just feel like I would end up regretting it if I did. We'll probably never come on the internet and just talk about things that have happened in a past relationship, even if it was dead wrong and like I feel like I was so mistreated. I'm never going to hop on the internet and say something that I feel like could be directly hurtful to someone's mental health. Obviously people are sensitive, and on the internet people take things in a different way. I'm not gonna sit here and say I've probably never offended somebody. There is a difference between offending somebody and then going on the internet and making a video hoping that it hurts someone else. I can't even like talk about this without laughing. I don't know if y'all have seen the girl who made the video talking about act your weight. Like, that to me is just beyond ridiculous. You have to laugh. Yeah, I don't know. When I was in middle school and I saw that video, I probably would have had horrible thoughts, because that was the time when I was struggling with depression, struggling with how I looked, and I got bullied a lot when I was in 5th grade. Obviously now I've worked on myself, been through a lot to where like stuff like that never affects me for the most part. Anyone who's ever made a comment about my body in general on the internet has never affected my mental health, because I've worked so hard to get to a place where it just doesn't anymore. Imagine knowing you posted that video and knowing it could come across someone else's page. Like, what if somebody literally didn't want to be here anymore because of that? Knowing that I would have that on my back, I would never do that. I would never do that in a million years anyways. And I have common sense and my brain does function properly, unlike that girl. I just can never understand. My brain can't compute it. Another thing I will never post is how much exact money I made, for a couple different reasons. Mainly growing up, my dad just told me like that's not a good thing to do. And I love watching the financial transparency videos on TikTok, especially coming from influencers, because it's interesting to see from my point of view my peers are making versus what I'm making. But I just feel like talking about how much money you make on the internet, I feel like it puts a target on your back, no matter if you're doing it from a good place or not. The thing you're never gonna see on my page is me saying a cuss word. One of you guys pointed that out in a video that I did where I did like a makeup transition. Like, I've built my platform up to be a very wholesome, southern, makeup loving, girly type of platform where anybody can come here and enjoy the content. Whether you're 9 years old or you're 98 years old, I want you to feel like it is safe to sit here and watch my content, and I don't want that on my page. No hate to anybody who does. It comes to private information or like private falling outs with friends or past relationships or past partnerships, like I'm probably not gonna share that on the internet. Nowadays, the internet is a great, useful tool, but it's oftentimes used as a weapon. I never want it to feel like when you come across my page, I'm weaponizing my access to the internet. Like I said, coming from a girl who has been bullied before, like severely bullied to the point where like my brain wasn't working right, I didn't want to be here, okay? I did not want to be on this earth. What that feels like, I never want to put somebody in that position, even if that person has hurt me or we had a falling out. That's stuff you're probably never going to see on my page, and if you ever do see it on my page, please clock me, because something has gotten into me or I'm not running my page anymore. I love you guys so much. Bye.